Here's some automations in my smart home that just kind of make sense. Smart Thermostat edition. It has been freezing cold here the last few days, so I've been using my smart thermostat automations a ton. So here are my 4 favorite ones. These are all genuinely useful automations that I think everybody should set up in their smart home. Number 1 is the automation I use to turn the heat on every morning, and I do this in a somewhat unique way. So instead of just setting it at like a certain time of day, like every morning or whatever, I instead have the heat turn on whenever my alarm goes off in the morning on my phone. This means if I want to sleep in or if I'm waking up early, I don't need to change the thermostat. No matter what, the heat's always going to be on, and it's not on for too long, and I'm not wasting energy. To set this up, I use Siri shortcut and have it set so when the alarm goes off, if it's my wake up alarm, it's gonna run this automation immediately. And I don't just automatically turn on the heat when it goes off, I do one more thing that really makes this automation powerful. What it does is it checks the location of my phone, and only if I'm home is it gonna turn on the thermostats. So if I'm out of town or whatever and my alarm goes off, it's not gonna turn the heat on at home, wasting heat. This is one of my all-time favorite automations. It saves a bunch of money, so the heat's only on specifically when you need it. It uses a really unique trigger like the alarm on your phone, and it just kind of works. It's super seamless. I think this is the best way to handle turning on the heat in a smart home every morning. Let's go to the next automation. This next one is super simple. It's just whenever the last person leaves the house, all the heat's gonna turn off. Both my girlfriend and I are an Apple HomeKit, and we could use the native feature that says when the last person leaves. So if just one of us leaves the house, the heat will stay on, but as soon as everybody leaves, it's gonna shut off. Really nice little functionality, and it works great. Pretty much the exact same thing in the other direction. When the first person comes home, all the heat's gonna turn on. This third one's gonna be kind of hard to explain, but it's one of my favorite automations ever because it works so well. This automation makes sure the heat is only turned on in the specific room that I need it. For context, I have baseboard heating, so I have individual control of the heat in every room. You see here, I have a thermostat in my office, and then like I have a different one in the bedroom. Now, I have these sensors inside every single room of my house, so I can detect which room is occupied and which room isn't. I'm not gonna be able to show this all in one screenshot because of how I have it set up, but basically what happens is if somebody leaves the room for more than an hour, if that room remains unoccupied for a full hour, it's gonna turn off the heat in that room. Every time you come and go from the room, it's gonna reset that 1 hour long timer. Each one of these rooms has its own individual 10-minute timer, so if you're coming and going within an hour, the heat's just gonna stay on, but as soon as you leave for more than an hour, the heat in that room is gonna entirely shut off. That automation, coupled with the one that turns on the heat at the exact right time every morning, has actually saved me quite a bit of money because the heat's literally only on in the rooms at the exact times that I need it, and it's like not disruptive at all. You don't really notice that it's being automated, it's just not on when you don't need it. Now, this last automation isn't perfect, and the way that I have it set up, sometimes it results in the heat turning off when I'm not actually coming home, but when it's really cold out, I usually turn it on for just a few days. So this is really similar to the automation that triggers when I'm coming home, but this one instead triggers when I leave the office at work. So my house takes about 10 minutes to heat up, and sometimes I want it to be like crispy warm right away, and usually when I'm leaving the office, I'm coming right home. So if it's really, really cold out and I want my house to be warm, sometimes in the coldest months of winter, I'll turn on the when I leave the office automation, so the house will be preheated and nice and toasty when I get home. Those are the automations I've been using the last few days. Let me know if you guys like that video. If you have any questions, catch you later. Bye.